All right, lads, welcome to the Back Yourself podcast. This is your round 7 review. What a round it was. First of all, happy Easter to everyone over the weekend. Obviously, this was the huge Easter weekend. We had the Monday games, and this is Monday night, and we'll be doing back-to-back videos. So tomorrow, it will be the release of this video, and then the next day will be the preview, as now footy is coming thick and thin as we see all the games gets consolidated together with Easter and now Anzac Day and all the different events happening. So, hope you guys enjoy all the content. But today's review is probably going to be a good one. At least it ended on a high note, I want to say, with Parramatta. But the early games, truly got a lot to say about a few of these teams. I know that they're all going to come at me in the comments, 2 of them in particular. We'll get to them, but I saw what I saw, and I can tell you by the stats what happened. So I think we can just get into it. So the first game, the only reason I need to check is just to check the scores because I know who won. Yes, I thought I was wrong. So Thursday night, Dragons defeated the Manly Warringah Seagulls, my Manly Seagulls as some people call them, at Brookvale, or 4 Pines, whatever it's called, 20 points to 18. Now, I remember saying on the podcast in the preview that -3 was the only play. You couldn't really play Dragons at that price. And literally, I would take it again and again and maybe one more time. It was the right side. The wrong side won this game. And Dragons fans, I'm going to first congratulate you on your victory like I did last week, but that's all I'm going to say. Well done. Good win. Whoever says there should be top 2 needs to wake up, i.e. the Zerafos brothers. That's it. I've got nothing else to say. They didn't deserve to win. I mean, let's start with Seabold's comments. I don't like coaches complaining. In this case, he has a point. And it doesn't have to be all 5 games. And obviously now I'm going to say it, but I said it before, and that was the only detractor to taking Manly, was they had a 5-day turnaround. And it wasn't just any 5-day turnaround. You have a 5-day turnaround from Cronulla, Dragons even, anywhere, even New Zealand. Perth is the longest flight from Sydney to anywhere in terms of a football game. Just get that, just process that. It's not, New Zealand is closer. New Zealand's 3 hours from Sydney. Perth is 5 hours away. And that was a 5-day turnaround. So yes, the scheduling was wrong, but I'm not going to get into that because you know what? They defeated the scheduling. They defeated it because they would have won if in the game the shit didn't happen. First of all, Jake Trbojevic goes down HIA. So after 15 minutes, Dragons are playing no Jake and no Turbo. And Jake is, one of the best locks, New South Wales lock. He's been fantastic for them. He keeps their defensive line. But whatever. Okay, you can have that as well, Dragons fans. Oh, things happen. Sure, have it. You know what? You can have that one. Then the sin bin. First of all, I thought he sin bin the wrong player. Straight up. I actually thought he should have sin bin Talkiaho. I actually thought he was going to sin bin Talkiaho. Let me get that right. And not sin bin simply. But he doesn't sin bin Talkiaho for that head high. He lit him in the chest. I mean, I don't know how that's head high. If you go into it and headbutt the player, that's no sin bin. Even though we've seen this round that these head highs, players are just directly going for it, or almost to the point that they're headbutting the other person and they just give the penalty. But anyway, in this case, it wasn't that. It was that hip drop. I mean, it wasn't even a hip drop. It wasn't even close to a hip drop. He didn't get under the legs. The biggest thing in a hip drop is they lose their legs. He was already on the ground. I couldn't believe what I was watching. So Manly went down to 12. All right. Sure. Have it. And you know what? Still Manly were unlucky from there. They scored with 12 players, went in front by 6. Dragons went down the other end, got it back. They were up 6 again. Then Manly scored again. And then Manly did score again with Brooks. And Simpy was offside. Dumbass. And if it wasn't for that, Dragons literally would have lost this game. And they would have lost by 4, conveniently. But they would have lost. And it was literally an offside, but maybe this month. He was offside, not saying anything. He was offside, 100%. And look, if he wasn't there, they would have scored anyway because Dragons looked at the ball and they just went, oh, yeah, Brooks scored. Oh, shit. They actually thought they conceded as well. And I'm sure 90% of Dragons fans were like, oh, my God, we lost this game. And now what I don't like is they probably sat in that moment and said, I can't believe we lost that game. We had all this shit go our way, blah, blah, blah. Now that they've won, now I have to explain myself as to why I said Manly. What the fuck? You guys didn't think you would win when Brooks scored. And now it's like, oh, yeah, we're the top team. You're not. There is nothing good about this team. Dragons, as per usual, just continue to pile on garbage. And it's just like, in essence, sometimes I just think it's the podcast because the much I call these rubbish teams out, they just keep fucking winning. Another team that also won, also the same garbage later in the round. We'll get to them, and I'm sure all the Warriors fans are in my comments to call out that. But I will say the same shit. Dragons, you guys aren't good. I will not give you credit until proven that you guys are in the top 8 because I know Dragons. And Dragons, like, at some point will give up. And it's just a matter of time. So I don't need to relax. I'm going to just keep tipping against them. Everyone in the comments can keep coming at me. I don't care. I know what I know about Dragons. I know at some point they're going to go on a 4-game losing streak and that's it. It's done. And look, Dragons fans, keep your head up. Yep, you know what? Attack me as much as you want. But little do you guys know, and you guys know deep down, I hate these Dragons fans because they know deep down their team's going to fuck it up at some point. It's going to happen. Just give it time. It will just happen. Somehow, some way they will mess it up. A classic Dallas Cowboys take. It's going to happen. So, look, Dragons fans, like I said, congrats. I'm going to go to the Manly side. Manly, like I said, were unlucky, but they still ended up losing, so they didn't get the 2 points. Is there a bit of... Okay, I think Seabold got attacked this week for calling out the 5 games, 25 days. Sure, no other coach complains about that. I'm happy that everyone called him out on that because he's the only coach to say it. And some of these teams have gone to Vegas and come back, blah, blah, blah. But I think a lot of people take, like, going into their count that, oh, yeah, this is since Cherry, like, wanted to leave. Look at their losses, right? Melbourne, they were completely outplayed. No denying that. Cronulla, they were 6 points away. And, yeah, they had 2 intercepts, but they don't have Turbo. Like, all of this is without Turbo. But, okay, they only lost by 6. And they lost by 2 in this game where I named you, like, 3 things that could have went their way and they would have won. So, are they that bad? Right now, probably. And everyone's like, no, they won't make the 8. They will. They will. They'll be there. And Manly is in the position of some teams that they can just lose 3 games and be like, all right, these guys are still okay. Because they're still fine. I mean... Turbo will come back. I think some of their outside backs and middle forwards, like, they really need them to wake up. But also, like, I think they will have a better back end to the season, as they usually do, and storm home. So, I'm not too worried. A little bit worrying that they lost this game, but they had excuses, right? Until there's a game that they don't have excuses and they lose, I'm like, all right, these guys suck ass. But I still think Manly will make the 8. I'd love to hear your thoughts. I know everyone's going to be like very recency biased. They've lost 3 straight and now they're not going to make the 8. Look, this was the same about Sharks when they lost to Dogs and Raiders. Sharks are not going to make the 8. Now they've won 2 in a row. Everyone's like, fuck. Yeah, they'll probably make the 4. How did you promote yourselves that quickly? Like, I understand it's a league that everyone washes around, but you got to understand that as well. Everyone moves around. It's just a bunch of garbage, all these teams. But... Manly are still in my 8, still in my 6, I would say for sure. And an outside shot for the 4 because no one wants 4th spot, apparently. That's the end of that. Pretty good for Dragons fans. I hope they enjoyed. Harry as well, shout out to him. I did shout out to Zerafos Brothers, but shout out Harry. All right, we head to Good Friday. Shout out Matt for this one. The Bulldogs smoke. No, actually, beat South. I don't want to say smoke. It sounds like, it looks bad. 32-0 looks awful. Trust me, it does. I know. It looks shit. But I want to get to this game because I think people, even myself included, I didn't think Dogs would just go annihilate after their bye. And sometimes you got to sit back and be like, all right, why did I take Dogs like to win to 1 to 12, 1 and 12? Well, Dogs have off a bye. Everyone coming back is not great. South get players back. South do this, South do that, and they have Wayne. South genuinely tried, and I think this is has the regression begun for South? They genuinely tried in this game. And the belief from me is that Dogs are elite. Dogs are, at the moment, power ranked number 1. I don't think anyone's going to be like, no, they're not. They're the only team that's been consistent. They're the only team that's won every game. They're the only team that looks absolutely like you cannot score on them. So they're obviously at 1. There's no argument. But South were always hovering around that 8. Will they make the 8? Everyone's saying they will. Some people saying they won't, i.e. me. At this point, I still have them missing out. Not because they lost to Dogs. I knew they were going to lose. But they genuinely tried. And the concern is for South is that they can score points. Their defense is never going to be their strong suit. They're never going to hold teams out set after set after set. But they can score. And you guys aren't Knights. We'll get to Knights. But in terms of the output of South, they genuinely tried as hard as they could. And they couldn't break them. Dogs are great. There's a lot of part of Dogs being that good. But South's forte is to score. And it just didn't exist. And a lot of people may argue Dogs are just that good, right? To stop South. But we've seen year and year and year after year, no matter who was coaching, even Demetrio, that left edge scores points. It scores. They score, right? And they trouble teams. But it just didn't trouble Dogs at all. And they genuinely gave it a crack and it just was nothing. So from a Dogs perspective, nothing for really me to say. I think now people want an excuse or not cheer for them anymore, in a way. I don't know why this is... It's a common argument. It happens in all sports. It's what a team just keeps winning. You're just all right, just lose. It's kind of like Penrith winning 4 premierships. It's just all right, we get it. Just lose a game. It's the same with Dogs right now. Just lose. And the excuses start coming out. Dogs are great. Dogs are first. They're first for a good reason. They're the best team at the moment. I'm not arguing anything with that, but people are well, they have an easy draw. Do they? They won at Cronulla without Burton and Kickow, where in a game that even if Burton and Kickow played, Cronulla would be favourite in Cronulla. There's not many teams that would go to Cronulla and be favourite in general, but even if they went there in that situation, Cronulla would have been favourite. And no team has really troubled them. Next week, absolute blockbuster. That's going to be a 20-minute preview tomorrow of just that game. There's so many games next week that are going to have big talking points, but that one in particular is going to be huge. And we'll get to Brisbane and everything that's happening there, but Dogs right now are the best team. And like I said, I can't bet against them, and I couldn't. I thought they would be close, but I couldn't bet against them. And Dogs proved me wrong again. They're just scoring, not at will, but they're scoring because of their pressure on the other team. And it's not in terms of structured play, they didn't really beat South with that too often. They beat South by just grinding them out. And that's what Dogs do best. So shout out to them, shout out to Matt, shout out to Gus, shout out to Stephen Crichton, Bitcoin himself. Incredible. Seraldo, incredible. They look insane at the moment, Bulldogs. So look, if they keep this up, obviously I'm going to have them first, and they're going to win a comp once I do my next video, which will be just before Magic Round. So one more round we have left. But probably even... if they lose to Brisbane, maybe they won't be first, but we'll see. Depends what Melbourne do. But they're probably the top 2, and no one can really argue that. Everyone else is just the shit version of each other. So... Dogs, Melbourne seem to be leading the pack, and Dogs have a 2-win spread. Will that affect things? Are they now in Origin conversation, all these players? Yeah, and that will affect further down the line. But it looks like next player up, and it's very similar to the Penrith regime that we saw for 4 years, winning a premiership. But I want to say, Dogs fans, like, you guys are probably, I think, your second favourite to win the comp, or third, still under Brisbane, which bewilders me. But, you know, Penrith the first year also didn't win the grand final. So all I'm going to say is Penrith were as dominant, maybe not, it's a few years ago, very close to that Penrith team in the COVID year, 2020 I'm talking about. They were very close. They were so dominant that year, and they still lost the grand final. It could be that all over again. We don't know. We'll see if it's Dogs Melbourne, and if it is, like, you know, is it deja vu again, or will Dogs win their premiership, or is it coming the year after? You don't know. But right now, absolutely flying. Got to be in everyone's top four, and yeah, probably have a home a match to make the prelim, which is insane. South, keep your heads up. I think with everyone, you guys look okay. I don't think you'll make the 8 still. I think you gave it everything you got and just came up with nothing. Was that Dogs brilliant, or you guys shit? We'll find out in the next couple of rounds, but that's my analysis for that game. The next one is the beginning of garbage. There's 2 garbage in a row. Yeah. Okay. These 2 are the garbage ones, and the rest is just comical at that point because I get to scream at Roosters. So the big one, Melbourne are hammered by this Dolphins side who won 42-22. Now the scoreline looks like what happened to Melbourne. I'll tell you what happened. Dolphins kicked the 2 points. That would help them so much. Conceded. Down 16-2. 16-2. Similar team was down 18-2 not too long ago. We'll get to them. And then it was just something possessed this Dolphin side. They were possessed. And look, I will say it week in and until forever, unless they make the 8. Where the fuck was this the first 4 rounds? I mean, they're possessed. This is exactly what I thought they would be. Their offense is nuts. Absolutely nuts. They're scoring at will. And this is like what the Dolphins I expected. Concede 30, but score 40. And they will score 40. Melbourne were awful on the edges. And what happens in this game is just shows how talented they are on the outside backs. Herbie Farnworth and Averill, I called them out in the reel as well, were brilliant. And they absolutely cooked the Melbourne Storm from centre. And he's just getting the ball outside. Ball got outside and it was like, oh my God. Like, what are we watching? And like the domination and the way that Melbourne dominated that first 20 or 30 minutes when they went up 16-2, I was like, this is going to be like 100-0. I mean, Melbourne's not even trying. And they were still in front by this much. But then Dolphins, like, absolutely possessed them. And I feel like Bellamy, this will be a huge, like, fuck playing Melbourne. I know who plays them. It's South, isn't it? But fuck playing Melbourne next week. I'll tell you why. This has happened a few times that they've come into the back end of games and just given up. Every game. Outside of every game, literally. They get to the last 20 and they just fucking give in. And the ones that they actually have won, i.e. the Warriors game, i.e. the Para game, i.e. the Manly game. Manly, like I said, that was a very close, exactly the same scenario almost. Manly kicked the goal, conceded 3 straight tries, so did Dolphins. Manly give in. Dolphins didn't give in. Dolphins said, all right, we scored 1, we're back in this. Well, they scored 1, they scored 2, they scored 3, they scored 4, they scored 5, they scored 6 tries. Sorry, they might have scored 7. I don't know how they got to 40. Maybe they scored 7 tries. They didn't give in. They did not give in. And I think there is a bit of a change in my perspective of both Riles, which we'll get to, and of course, now Wolf. They're actually teaching them something. They're playing better. They're playing much better, this Dolphins side. And the offense is what I expected, like I said. This is what I expected from this Dolphins team. And they look great. they look awesome. Now, I think my top 8 pick for Dolphins has dropped below what I got pre-season, and they're 3-4. Because everyone knows, okay, these guys are actually playing good. They were a good footy team. The first 4 games was a facade. And do I wish they won one of those first 4 games and they would be 4-3? Of course, because that's where they deserve to be, if not 5-2. But it is what it is. Look, you basically, right now, if you got them like at 9, they were like $11 at one point when they were on 4 to make the 8. And now they're $2.75 or $3. I think $2.75. Awesome performance from Dolphins. Everything I expected at the start of the season. Didn't I expect them to win this game? No. We sent out the spread from a premium perspective, but that was 12.5 points. So that's a lot of points to win by. And it goes to show the NRL right now is just in a state of the points don't mean shit all at this point. They all just go win. And anyone that covers is not covering. They just lose. And the 2 favorite, like how many favorites covered this week? Let me just think. They all won, but like all the favorites, there was no covering and losing the whole week. No, there wasn't. Everyone won outright that was an underdog, and everyone that lost didn't cover. That's the sport right now. If you lose, they lose by 100. If they win, they win by 100. And sure, I mean, in this case, it worked. In the Para case, it worked, but in the Knights game, it didn't work. I knew Knights were going to lose, but fucking didn't expect them not to score. And the Titans game, well, don't worry about that. And the next game, well, the next game's something else. But Dolphins, Wolf, you have definitely changed my mind so far. Tristan Wolf, you've changed my mind. I think the team is playing much better. Have you done a lot of this? I hope so, because that would mean that there is a club that actually has a coach that's controlling the locker room, unlike some of these teams. But also that I think genuinely playing like this, you deserve to make the 8. I don't have it in my 8 just yet. Oh, they're very close right now after today, but I think there's a team that absolutely leapfrogged a lot forward after today's performance, but you can see what I think they're all bounds forward, and there's a few teams that have dropped off a bit lower, but the 8 is very tough right now. I think I've got 7 teams in my 8 right now that I think they'll all make it. The 8th spot is just literally up for grabs. There's a lot of arguments for a lot of teams, and I think Dolphins are in that mix. Can they make the 8? I think they can. They're a very talented lineup. And if they continue this trajectory of scoring points the way they're scoring, they're going to put a lot of points on teams. And their defense may not be 100% great, and it's not. But like they did to Melbourne, it's just like going on those runs. It's just like demoralizing. And it's just like, all right, all of a sudden we're down 12. Like, what the fuck? So absolutely incredible performance from the Dolphins. Melbourne, I think there's a bit of, okay, we're just too good. I don't know. I feel like this year in particular, like I've said in the past, they're really not showing effort at all. And they know they're great. And they know that when it really matters is towards the end of the year. But it doesn't mean anything if you're not there. Not that they're not there, but if you come fourth in this position and play dogs, it's just pointless. Like, that's just stupidity from your end. Really, you should be second, if not first, to end the year. So, like, anything outside of that for Melbourne is just it's a failure. Because first or second really doesn't mean much in this season, because third and fourth are just going to be the same shit. Like, they're just the same garbage. Whoever you put third and fourth is the same garbage, right? And then you'll make the grand final. You don't play Dogs until the end. So maybe we'll get a Dogs Melbourne. I don't know, but I don't have any worries about them. I know they can score. I know with everyone they're very good. Very, very good. They do have a few injuries. Harry Grant not being there for 6 weeks or something, which rules him out of Origin as well. But 6 weeks without him is like going to be a big loss. But, you know, Melbourne are going to beat teams by like 100. So just wait for it. It's going to take time. I think the centers, Howlett going down as well, Meaney not being there. There's a lot of players that weren't there that should have been there. Doesn't mean they should have lost by that much, but it does mean that they still can be better than this, which when they were 16-2 up, I was like, holy shit, these guys are without Grant, Howlett, Meaney. I was like, who the fuck are they playing? Nelson, who are they playing? But Dolphins obviously turned the screws and were just on fire in that end of the first half, and then obviously the second half. Incredible performance from them, and I've got them just outside my 8 right now. I think it's just not worth taking a top 8 pick for them at this point. 275 is not worth it. If you got it at 11, put your comments down below. I'd love to hear from you guys. I've got it pre-season at like 375. So obviously, I took them way early in the season and didn't expect them to go on 4. But let's get into another team that think they have top 8 hopes. It's going pretty well. I thought this would take longer, but we haven't got to Knights yet. And Roosters. I forgot about them. All right, the Broncos travelled to New Zealand to face on the mighty Wars. Shout out to the Wars. And the Wars got up 20 points to 18 in a thriller. Metcalf kicks the penalty goal from the 50-metre line after Reece Walsh kicks it out on the full. Now for everyone to come complain on my post, but it is what it is. Let me get my handy stats out because the NRL loves to put stats out of certain different things, but I always like to see the negative plays. So negative plays, Warriors had 13 errors to 12. Close game, sure. Penalties conceded, 4 to 10. Ruck infringements, 3 to 1. Wow, they won a category. Penalties inside the 10, 0 to 3. This is ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. New Zealand, this could go viral, but literally, I don't care. These Warriors games, you have to stay 12 meters out. I want no excuse to ever give a penalty. Literally, it's incredible. These 6 agains are nuts. Every game they play down there, it's just 6 again, penalty, ruck infringement, penalty, 2 points. What? How? Look, this team is not that good. They do not create that fast of a fucking average play the time. What was the average play? No, add that in. I need to know. What was the average play the ball time? Their average play the ball time was less than 9 millitenths of a second faster than Brisbane's. Brisbane conceded a total of 14 penalties. Warriors conceded 7. And it's not the first time. It's not. You know what? I've had enough of these Warriors fans because they deserve every stat possible. Where's that game they played against Manly convenient enough that they get every call under the sun yet again? Where's the stats? Get the stats out. This is ridiculous. Unbelievable. All right, let's look at, first of all, how fast they are from dummy half. All right, they were 3/10 faster in this game. Fair enough. They were just under 3/10 faster. Sure. Manly had more errors. Overall penalties were, plus the sin bin for Manly, add that in, 16 to 6. This is ridiculous. This Roosters game, I don't remember what it was, but again, let's have a look. Because when they go down there, it's ridiculous. Average play the ball time, Roosters were 2 milliseconds slower. 2 milliseconds. Roosters lost the penalty count 7 to 3. Every game they go down there, they double the penalty count. It's incredible. And people want to come on my content and say to me, Warriors are a top 8 team. Yeah, if you win the penalty count in New Zealand, double every single game, of course you guys are going to win every game. It's obvious. Again, Brisbane had excuses. Anyone that comes at me, Walsh was injured. They lose the penalty count by double, and they lose this game in Golden Point because Walsh made a mistake. Other than that, they probably would have lost in Golden Point because everyone knows Reynolds and Hunt would have kicked a field goal. We saw Metcalf's field goal that went all the way to the right when I thought someone tipped it. No, he just missed it. I've had enough. These Warriors games, when they go to New Zealand, I'm saying it right now. If you're going to New Zealand, come next week. Whoever plays in New Zealand. Who's plays in New Zealand next? This is a formal request for anyone that goes to New Zealand. Knights. On Knights, don't worry, they won't. Knights, I'll tell you how to beat Warriors. It's very plain and simple. Just, you're 10 meters out, go 12 meters. Because then they have no excuse to give a call. These guys generate calls. And we'll see. I'm telling you, Adam O'Brien, listen to me. You idiot. You dumbass of a coach. Because we'll get to him in the Knights game. Tell your players, if you do not give Warriors penalties, all of a sudden they can't do anything. Trust me, that's the only way you beat this team. They've won 3 games, and out of 3 of them, I just showed you 3 stats. They've doubled the penalty count by every team. They've had double more penalties than the other team. And that Roosters game in particular, if you guys want to come at me and say they slowed down the play, they didn't. The play the ball times were 0.02 slower than the Warriors ones. Yet they lost the penalty count 7-3. And Roosters, don't get me wrong, aren't a disciplined team. But it's actually insane. These Warriors teams, the calls. It's just, how are you supposed to win? It's Chris Butler again. It's incredible. Look, I should have said it at the start. Congratulations. Congratulations to the Wars. Very good victory. You guys are such a good team and you're going to make the 8. Disclosure is, listen, I'm probably the only podcast in the world to say this. We've had enough. We know these calls are fucking garbage. Because as soon as you guys go back to New South Wales, other than this Tigers game, which Tigers we just saw aren't good, other than this Tigers game, you guys get walloped. In Melbourne, you got absolutely demolished. In Vegas, you got absolutely killed. You go to New Zealand, yeah, we'll win the penalty count 7-3, then we'll win the other one 12-4, and then this week we'll win this 14-7. What? How? I mean, they've had 33 penalties versus what? 7 plus 4 plus 3. 14. 33-14 in New Zealand. There's the real. All of that was just coming down to this. The penalty count in New Zealand is 33-14 in the Warriors' favour. Go check their games. Every single game, they win the calls. All right, they're so quick. Yeah, their play the ball speed so good. They're able to not give... And you know what the other thing is? I guess I add this as well. What's fascinating is they don't give any penalties. It's incredible. All right, the refs doing a strict game and they give a lot of penalties for 10 metres out, rucking through, slowing it. So how come Warriors aren't giving any away? So it's not that either. Literally, it's incredible. So if New Zealand is going to be a place that you're going to guarantee go there and lose the penalty count by double, all right, they'll make the 8. Congratulations. You guys want a fucking medal? Congratulations. Go make the 8. You'll come 8th and then go to a place that you're not going to win the penalty count by double because it's not your home fucking ground. And you're going to go there and be like, all right, we got pumped. All right, we made the 8 though. Chris, you were wrong. You said they were us. They are. If you win the penalty count 33-14 or 12, whatever I said, 14, in your own home ground, sure, you'll beat anyone. And they win games by 2 and they want me to come out and say, oh, how good they are. No, I will not. I see what I see and Warriors are shit. And I don't care they won this week. I don't care what G's are in the... I couldn't care less. You guys suck ass. All you guys do is get calls. And every single time, it's a pile-on. It's like 4 calls in a row, then you score. And you're like, fuck yeah. Geez, hey, we're so good. You're not. There's nothing good about this team. Just like Dragons, your fan base, at some point, you're not going to win the penalty count by double. You know what's fascinating about Dragons? At least they win, like, morally. The ref didn't help them. The ref doesn't give them a lot of calls. You know, there was obviously that hip drop, blah, blah, blah. But overall, it's not like they're winning the penalty count like Warriors are, and they win games. Fair enough. They got a bit more slack than I do. But Warriors are truly garbage. I've just proved to you. Go look at the stat. Go pull up NRL 360 right now on the side window while you listen to me speak about fucking... Who's next? Had enough of Warriors. Well, Knights deserve their own set. I wouldn't ask you to click off if Knights were next, but Knights aren't next. Well, Roosters, don't click off. Stay on, because Roosters is going to be great. But open up on your phone while you're watching me on your laptop or what screen or TV, wherever you're watching. Open up on your phone and go through all their New Zealand games. I'm not lying to you. They've won every penalty count by 2. Times 2. 1 penalty given to their team, 2 for us. Nah, there's got to be something going on. Someone needs to notify the NRL committee. I'm on to you. This is ridiculous. You cannot be this poor going to New Zealand. And this is not rubbish sides. Manly, Brisbane, Roosters. 3 great teams have gone down there. Roosters, we'll get to them. 3 great teams have gone down there, and all of them have lost their penalty count by double. absolutely ridiculous. The NRL needs to fucking note this and be like, what the hell's going on down there? This is ridiculous. Unbelievable. Absolutely pissed me off that game because Brisbane should have never been in it from the start, and they actually fought themselves back and got it to golden point. And Reece Walsh, yes, he made a mistake. I'm not going to say anything about that. He made a mistake. Metcalf kicked a great field goal. Didn't think he would make it. Kicked a great goal to win the game. But it should have never been a game like that in the first place. So, Warriors, Feds, you might think I'm harsh, but I'm telling you the truth. This is exactly what's happening. And the NRL, the whole commission, everyone in refereeing needs to fucking wake up because I'm on to you cunts. This is absolutely absurd what's happening in New Zealand. The amount of calls they get is like the other team is just laying in the play of the ball or moving from 8 meters out. It's not truthful. It's not the truth because we know that when they play the next week, they don't do that sort of shit, do they? It's all of a sudden only happens in New Zealand. Unbelievable. Anyway, enough about those idiots. Enough about Warriors. On to the next game. Oh, the screaming continues because fucking Roosters are there. Whew. All right. Let's get on to Roosters. Roosters defeated. They'll never defeat this team again. Penrith won 40 points to 12. Undoing everything they did round two. Let's start with Penrith because I want to breathe a little bit before I get to Roosters. Penrith, listen. Penrith are going to make the 8. If they play like this, they'll make the 8. It's just default. They were awful, and they kept going awful. Now they're 1. Roosters give them a free layup. It's like giving a turnover in NBA and just giving them the ball and be like, go score. And then Penrith's like, oh, I don't know how to. They'll be like, see that rim right there? Just put it inside of it. That's all you need to do. Oh, that doesn't seem that hard. And they go up to the basket and just put it in. They're like, oh, I scored. Okay. Look, can you do that again for me? And Rooster's like, yeah. Go do it again. Go practice, kid. It's ridiculous. Awful. But Penrith did dominate. It wasn't that easy, but from a Roosters standpoint, I'm sure Roosters fans would feel that way. But Penrith, back to their old ways. Yeah, they're 2-5, but in this league, everyone loses to everyone, so it's not a big deal. Penrith will lose games. So will Sharks, so will Raiders, so will Manly, so will Dogs, so will Warriors, maybe if they don't go to New Zealand. So will Dragons. Everyone will. And Penrith will win 4 in a row, and then everyone will say, oh, they're back. They'll make the 8, maybe win a finals game. The way I saw Penrith wasn't a team struggling. It was more like, all right, yeah, we played awful. We were struggling, but we're good. And look, there's 2 points to the thing. Was Roosters that bad? Roosters were pretty awful. One of the worst performances of the round, if not for fucking... Yeah, there's one other team, obviously. But they're obvious. That's how bad they were. Roosters were truly, absurdly bad. Penrith, congratulations. There's not much to say because I've expected you guys to bounce back the last 3 weeks. But you guys did bounce back this week. You looked fantastic. And maybe this is the start of a few wins in a row. Gain your confidence back and make the top 8. But I think top 4 is out the window. It's just the 8 is probably a question, if you guys make it or not. Just with the amount of losses, I don't think you can make the 4, but in Origin and all that. So I think an 8 team, can they win from 8, the top 8? I think Hussein says it a bunch of times. They're probably the only team that could, but yeah, we'll have to wait and see for that. I don't take much away to say, oh yeah, they're this is it. They're coming back. No. I don't think they're favourites to win a comp for a reason. They shouldn't be in the top 4 to win a comp favouritism-wise, but they're definitely going to be there. I think they've shown that they can beat these teams, and in a tough game and a grind out, once they start getting their confidence back, they're going to win those games as well. So only the Dolphins game, they really got walloped. Every other game, they lost by a few points. So I think Penrith can really bounce back going forward. Now let's get to Roosters because they deserve their own podcast after what they did. Because what's fascinating is they scored first as well, didn't they? Let me just double check that. Yeah, they scored first. Back. Listen. I said it from round... Did I not say this last year? He has to be fired. I don't understand. What else do you need to prove? What else needs to happen for this guy to get fired? Literally. They're atrocious. They're not even trying. All they do is fire up. They're like, all right, We have to play. Oi, guys, come gather. We're playing Brisbane. They beat us by 50 last time. Boys, let's go play 40. Yeah, let's go. And they go win. All right, cool. Roosters, you know what? They're off the hook. All right. What was their other stupid Penrith? Oh, boys, we got pumped by Brisbane. Come on, boys. Let's go beat this team. You know what? They've given us 24 points. We're going to prove how good we are. Yeah, we went and won. Woo! Went to New Zealand, lost head-to-head. You went to New Zealand, which is the fucking fortress of calls. You lost another game, Titans. That was despicable. And then you won Brisbane. You're like, yeah, all right, we're fired up. We beat Brisbane. Woo! Come home and do it again. And this line was 3.5. Is that it? It's fucking Roosters. I mean, holy shit, they're bad. And at the moment, if it weren't for point difference, I know Penrith could be down there, but Penrith have only lost games by 4 outside of the Dolphins game. Roosters would be last. You're lucky Parra lost 2 games by 50. If not, you would be last right now. Despicable. Absolutely despicable. I don't know. How many times do I have to say this guy has to go? It's simple. Look, they're not going to call out Des because Titans suck. They'll call out Adam O'Brien, but they do that every year, and he's going to go on a 10 winning streak. We know. How is Robinson not in the conversation? How many times do I have to prove myself? The shithouse. There's nothing good about this team. And every week, every time they lose, it's like, oh yeah, Roosters lost, but they played Penrith. Oh yeah, Roosters lost, but they were unlucky, and Campbell took the intercept, and we're not that bad. Oh yeah, we lost to Brisbane, but they threw the footy around a lot, and they got lucky, and yeah, we lost by 50, but that's all right. Yeah, we lost to New Zealand, but they got every call. That's the only one I'll take the excuse for, but awful. They lost to South too, didn't they? Yeah, with nothing. I forgot about that. Just shit. It's just a shit team, and I think I've had enough of saying it, to be honest, because you guys know my views on Roosters. I've said from day one they're not going to get anywhere, and they're not, and they're just sliding more and more backwards. So they need something new in the locker room. It's nothing against Trent Robinson's legacy or history. It's basically Arsene Wenger. Towards the back end of his career, it was like, all right, he needs to go. And you can win games at Brisbane. You can win games against Penrith. He's a good coach. He can pull off one-offs, but that's it. That's all they are right now, a one-off side. And next week is a great one-off. They play in Anzac Day, in the Anzac Day clash, against the Dragons team who's out to prove me wrong, apparently, and now going to fuck it up, aren't they? So it's perfect. The Roosters will go win and be like, oh, everyone will be like, maybe they can make the 8. Just shut up. They're lucky to not finish last at this point. The shit house. That's enough about Roosters. Our Warriors game really pissed me off because as I broke it down, I was like, further into the garbage that happened. Shouldn't have got that pissed off over the Easter weekend, but whatever. Those cunts just really pissed me off because the calls are ridiculous. All right, let's get on to Easter Sunday. We had a game. Truly, I didn't care about this game. One of my least favorite games of the round because it's just shit. But the Titans took on the Raiders in Gold Coast. It's terrible scheduling, I want to say. This Sunday, I actually would have put the Saturday games on Sunday and the Sunday games on Saturday because, New Zealand, put them on the normal day. Brisbane are playing, and the Roosters Penrith's a good game. Put that on Easter. Anyway, whatever. Sure, do whatever you want, NRL. Titans Raiders are nothing of a game. Titans are dropping like flies, literally dropping like flies. Fafita out during the week. 2 days later, Campbell gets ruled out, and starting Weaver. I mean, holy shit, they're bad. But little do you know, how do I explain Raiders without saying that they're I don't know how they went up 16-0, but it's just Raiders. And Raiders won, right? So Charles Kroon, shout out to you. Raiders won. Did it feel like a victory? I mean, why were you down 16-0 to this team in the first place? I think someone in our Instagram DMs was like, why did you take Titans? And I was like, listen, first of all, when Titans were up 16-0, you were probably having fits at the Raiders lines. Don't come at me. Second of all, like, Raiders, like, I know what they're capable of. All these teams, I know what they're capable of. That first 20 minutes was what they're capable of. Why the fuck were they down 16-0? Why did they look like they were just like, any high ball, they were just like, oh yeah, Jojo, oh yeah. What? It's despicable. And Titans, like, literally, you could say if they had one of Campbell or Fafita, they would have won. They literally would have won. They wouldn't have gone 16-0 in front and then lost. They would have won. So, yes, I took Titans on the day, so it's a bit different, but they were the value on the day. I can't lay points with Raiders because that first 20 minutes proved to me, I was like, all right, this is exactly why I can't lay 6 with Raiders, 6, 7. They're just going to go mess it up. It was very similar to the Cowboys game, how they messed up that one. But Titans are just another breed. And what happened with Titans was, like, truly Titans-esque. I think, like, if they didn't concede that try before halftime, I think they would have won. But that try to make it 16-all was kind of like, oh my God, we tried that hard. We gave it everything we got. And we got it to 16-0 in front. Yeah, they scored 2 tries, 16-10. But to make it 16-0 was just demoralizing. It was just like, oh my God. We tried that hard and we're tying. Raiders were awful that first half. Ricky Stewart couldn't wait for his men to come back in and be like, wake up, you bums. And when they did, the second half was just a grind out. Raiders, Hudson Young in a New South Wales jersey, looks like he's primed. I think, like, right now he's absolutely playing out of his skin. So it's very hard to keep him out of that jersey, even though we have a bunch of second rowers. But I would take out Crichton immediately. I think Martin and Young is probably, like, that's the combo. But they were playing great. Raiders, like, proved in the second half they're just a good team. And I've got them in my 8. I know that there's patches throughout the game, like I said, that they just, like, become old Raiders or the same Raiders that I knew. But at least, like, they turn it around. And you know what? That's a lot to do with Ricky Stewart. Just tells them, boys, like, just play back to the footy we know. And when they do, they're like, oh, yeah, we know how to play footy, don't we? Oh, yeah, we know how to play footy. We play good footy all the time when we go back to Canberra. All right, we'll play good footy now. And they just, like, win. That's all it is. It's like you need a coach just to sit there and go, boys, gather around. You guys know how to play footy, right? They're like, yeah. Then play it. It's not that hard. Just kick, catch, make meters, kick chase hard, chase every kick down, kick it long, Fogarty, and they win. That's all they needed to do. It's Titans. At the end of the day, it's Titans. The only way Titans won this game is Raiders fucking it up, and they did for 25 minutes. That was the only way. If Raiders went there and played normally, I would be like, all right, of course I'm going to lay 6. But I know it's in Raiders to go there and be like, we don't know how to play footy anymore. And it looked like they didn't know how to play footy for the first 25 minutes. But then they turned it on. Titans, I still don't think you'll come last. I think right now you're second favourite due to another team, which, fuck me. But you guys are second or third? Second, I think, because everyone's boasted one particular team after today. But I don't think you'll come last. Yes, Campbell and Fafita going out for a long time is a big loss, but Titans will be Titans, and they will find a way to get better and get stupid wins here and there. And I'm not too worried, and I know Des, he won't get them to come last. So, look, they don't look great. Losing this game by 10, just the way they lost it, I think makes them look worse than what they were. They weren't that bad. And they just lost to a team that simply, what I said, to beat Titans, just play normal, simple football. Offload every now and again, kick chase hard, make effective tackles, don't give penalties away, kick long, and you'll beat Titans. It's not rocket science. And some teams you'll beat by doing that as well. But Titans in particular, Titans need like you to play particularly awful and not tackle or give them too many run meters, especially on the edges, because their edges are pretty good and quick. Just give them too much space and stuff. That's how you Titans win games, not fucking anything else. If you play normally like Raiders, natural, traditional football, you will beat Titans. They're not anything good. So Raiders, good win. I think they're like the 4th favourite to make the 4 right now, outside of 5th, outside of Sharks and Brisbane. But yeah, they're flying. Do I think they'll keep going? No, because I know that they have that 20 minutes in them. So I've seen it at Cowboys. I saw it at Manly, which there was another game of biased calls, but they got walloped in that game, and they went to Townsville, and fuck me, they were bad. So look, it's in them. I know they can play good. I know they can play bad, but it depends how much of those patches come through. So good win for Raiders. Not much of a game to analyze, really. I still took 20 minutes. Wow, we're at 50 minutes and I have 2 games left. 2 huge games. So this is going to be a long one, even just for me. Knights. That's all I have to say. Knights hosted the Sharks. All right, Sharks is going to be easy. Shout out Daz. Sharks is easy. This is what I expected. You guys had a good game. You play good footy. You defend really well. You're going to go on 5-win streak and basically put yourselves back in the top 4 and top 8. So basically anyone that watched my podcast and said Sharks are not going to make the top 8, or if not top 4, then just wake up. They are. They had a few bad weeks. They haven't looked great all year. They probably played their best outside of the Penrith game this week, just because their defense was great. But not much else to say on the Sharks front. I want to see you guys against a good team, and Knights aren't it. So Sharks, good win. Great work, Cronulla. Not much to say because everyone wants to hear what I have to say about Knights, especially Matt. I know you do. All right, Knights. Is it time yet? Tell me. You tell me. Is it ready? Are we ready for this? Are we ready to sack Adam O'Brien, or you guys are okay? You're all right. You know Adam O'Brien's going to go win 10 in a row. Go on. Tell me in the comments how he's going to win 10 in a row. How is that even possible with their ability to not score? Holy shit, they're bad. I mean, they're favourites to come last for good reason. They're atrocious. Offensively, how good, actually, I want to say Knights fans, I'll tell you, how good were Knights when Kalen got the ball 3 times in that set? How good were they that set towards the end of the game? Why is that not happening every set? I don't understand. What am I not gathering from the Knights formula of scoring tries that Kalen doesn't get the ball at least twice a set? I don't understand. It just doesn't make sense. It baffles me. All right, you guys have one play, you're just going to do it. That's all you guys do. That's all you know. All you know is just to go to the edge and fuck it up. Give it to Bradman. Not even early. Give it to Bradman when the defender's right in his face. What the fuck is he supposed to do? Sharks actually made it look like out there, to be honest, and Knights fans are going to love this. It looked like Sharks were playing their reserve side. We've watched them train, so we know what they're going to do. That's how it looked like. It wasn't that it was easy. Trust me. I know Sharks defensively are a good team, but it looked like Sharks had seen what Knights were going to do, and that's what Knights delivered. Imagine, this is what's hilarious, right? And these teams do watch a lot of tape. They have tape reviews and watch all the games. So do we. But they watch the games in depth and see where they went wrong, etc. Imagine, and I had this once, a good story here. I had this once in uni, that I had an exam and they had a pre-test. The pre-test had questions and I did them because practice, right? I did them and then I got to the test and I was like, these are the same fucking questions. What the hell? I didn't even look. I was just like, oh, I know the answer. Oh. I read the question. I was like, it's not like they even changed what I'm looking for. It's the same fucking answer. This is what happened. Knights are so bad that Sharks, in the review tape of Knights games this week, watched their game and went on the field and are they actually doing what we... Wait a minute. Hey, Hines, you're seeing what I'm seeing, right? They're doing the same thing that we just saw on the tape. And Hines is like, yeah, just defend it like we said we were. And Sharks are like, oh, okay. Awful. I mean, does Adam O'Brien, he's out of tricks. The offensive coordinator is out of tricks. He's out of answers. He looks lost. I'd fire him right now. Gone. What's left? What else does he have to prove to you? That you can all of a sudden go score? They can't even defend anymore. Defense is half your offense, but they were the second best defense going into this game. Somehow. It was easy. I mean, one of the easiest games I've seen in my life. And, all right, they didn't win by 60, but Was there any point anyone thought Knights would win? It was just like, all right, Sharks is going through the motions. At some point, they'll beat them. And Knights had nothing. No adjustments, no change to their game plan, no thought process. They don't even think. And like we said a million times, I don't even know if Knights train. Like, it looks like they don't train. Like I said, the Sharks looked at the tape and were like, this is literally what was on the tape. And they're like, yeah, it is. Fitzgibbon's like, just defend like I said you guys would. Oh, okay. And they tackled every single player. Yeah, they scored 14. It was garbage, but they scored at the end. It doesn't count. During the game, it was like these guys physically can't score. If he doesn't need to go now, when? Tell me when. When you guys finish last with Kalen Ponga and Dylan Brown coming? Look, it's not even a problem. Is it the halfback? No. I want people to understand my point here. It's not the halfback's fault. It could be anyone. It doesn't matter about the halfback. It's the whole regime of this coach. That's what the problem is. You could put any halfback there. Give them Mitch Moses, give him Cleary, give him Reynolds, give him, I couldn't care less. Whatever halfback Knights want. Cherry Evans, go get him. Whoever you want. I guarantee you Knights will play the same way. And teams have figured him out. If they don't give it to Kalen, they have nothing. All right. Yeah, they have Cherry Evans now, but the way they play with these stars, it's like, we know what they're going to do to get us to the stars, so what's the point? There's 10 other players on the team, and then we know what the other 10 players are going to do. So the 3 players that may be creative or do something, we're going to foil them out. There's only 3. The other 10, I know what they're going to be capable of. I know Best is going to try and get one-on-one with my center. I know he's going to flick pass in him. I know Gagai's explosive. I know Kalen can do anything. He's probably the most dangerous player in our league. But outside of those 3, the rest of them look lost. It looks like they're robotic. Yeah, Sharp's fast, but they're robotic. In offense, when they go across and run across the field and start doing these ones, it's like, okay, next pass. Okay, go back. Marju breaks the tackle. Marju was great in this game, even though they lost. That run was incredible. It's just pass. They think they're Penrith. It's baffling. If you're a Knights supporter, I truly feel sorry for you because, I mean, I hope you guys saw this coming like we did, that Adam O'Brien's a fucking shit coach, but I don't know. Some people are probably like, oh, you're calling him to get out to it. No. They've scored 60 points in 7 rounds. Yeah, they scored 14. 60 points in 7 rounds. It's diabolical. Absolutely diabolical. Para caught you guys. Para can score. Anyone's caught you guys. I think there's teams triple you. Let me just double check that. I'm pretty sure Manly scored like 200 points. So Knights have scored 60 total. Titans have doubled you. Para's almost doubled you after today. They're only 3 points off. The closest team to you guys right now is Para on 117, Cowboys on 116, South on 117, and Warriors, who are in the top 4, 118. They're all almost double your points scored. Is that like not telling you, holy shit, we need to change something? Knights have scored a total of 60 points in their first 7 matches. The closest team to them is 116 points. That's almost double. And there is no one calling out this coach should go. He should be first on the chopping block. Absolutely gone. Their offense has not changed. Whatever they do in preseason, if they trained at this point, is just abolished. How many times did we hear through preseason, oh, how good do Knights look offensively with Sharp? They look fucking atrocious. That's what they look like. Knights fans, I apologize, but this is shit. No change. You guys just present the same garbage. And of course, teams like Cronulla are just going to look at you and be like, oh my God, these guys are bad. And not even give you guys a night of day to have a crack or anything. Cronulla just sat back and was like, all right, pass the ball as much as you want. Couldn't care less. Knights suck. And that's why they're last and projected to be last, because their offense is something new. Knights, sack Adam O'Brien immediately. I don't care how much you have to pay him. Immediately. He has to go. Oh my God. Whew. 60 points and he hasn't gone yet. Wait, when is he going to go? When you guys come last? Is that what's going to happen? When you guys are last, he's going to go. Fuck me. Awful. All right. we finally get to my upset alert. I thought this wasn't going to be entertaining, but I'm an hour in and I got one game to go. So it was entertaining. So I hope you guys enjoy the podcast. But Sam would have loved this round, to be honest. Absolutely annihilated some teams. But he will be back soon. I think he's 1 week away. So probably one more podcast. Yeah, 1 or 2. Depends on the review. All right. Wait, is next week a Monday game? No, it's Sunday. But we do have an extra day next week because of the Magic round. For anyone that's made it this far, I'd love to hear what you guys would like to see in Magic round. I want to do something different. Remember last year we did a ladder challenge that was great, but we already do like a punting perspective. So I don't know if we do that again. We do something else. We'll see. All right. The Tigers took on the Parramatta Eels in my upset alert, and that's back-to-back upset alert wins for me. So pat on the back for myself. After going 0-5, I've gone 2 in a row. Let's go Para before I annihilate Tigers, because sure, Para. All right, everyone needs to pump the brakes. They're not top 8, maybe top 12, maybe top 10. If Moses and Brown are there the whole year, like I said, if Moses and Brown were there from day one, they would make the 8. I said that from day one. You can go find the reel. I said it from day one. If they're there the whole year, they'll make the 8. Yeah. Is it rocket science? They have one of the best half combos in the competition. They have a $13 million player projected, and Mitch Moses, who's getting 1.1, 1.2, whatever he gets. And everyone's like, oh, well, but they're not that good. They're just not the best halves. What the fuck were you expecting? I mean, today was ridiculous. I couldn't believe they were underdogs. It was insane. It didn't make sense. And it proved right, because they shouldn't have been underdogs. They won 13 plus at the end. Unbelievable. Para are a different beast with Moses there. Like, everyone wants to say, okay, he's a halfback. The forwards are the problem. Yeah, the forwards are a problem. When this guy kicks it 72 meters, sorry, that 40-20 wasn't even 40 meters. How many meters did he kick that? It was like 55 meters. He kicked the 40-20. Buller looks at it like, and you watch, like, you know what's frustrating? If you're a Tigers fan, I'll tell you. When Buller looked at the ball coming across, he knew he was going for a 40-20 because he kicked it from his own fucking in-goal almost. He looks at it, and the way the ball was rotating in the air, you're like, that's going to bounce out. And Buller doesn't even attempt to go try and catch it on the full. He just looks at it bounce, and it makes a most wicked bounce towards the sideline. He's like, oh, shit. And it went over the sideline. And Para scored like that off that. So what is great about Moses is he knows his team isn't good. But doing shit like that, that's it, bro. Like, that whole, okay, we need to chase down, make tackles, don't give penalties. They got the ball back. They got the ball back and scored. They know how to score with Moses and Brown. You know who was brilliant? And I want to say, I had him Rookie of the Year, and I wish you could bet on it, but I think it's only overseas you can. Illawarra was incredible in this game. And it's just this spine, God forbid they get Galvin, even though he's the favourite to go there. Riley Smith looks great. Illawarra was fantastic today. Moses is Moses, one of the best halves in the competition. Dylan Brown, unfortunately, dumbass, because he's going to Knights from a Parramatta team. They would have the best young spine coming up in the competition. All of a sudden, you look at Moses and you're like, oh my God, he gels them all together. They were great. They were great today. Parramatta, yes, they conceded some late tries. Yes, they got close, but they did all of this without all their forwards, a bunch of youth, I must say, more than Tigers, and no Lomax. They didn't look bad at all. Did they look like they missed Lomax? And you add Lomax to this? I mean, Para, whenever they're in trouble, this guy's just going to kick it 40 metres in the air and Lomax is going to go chase it and score. Who's going to beat Lomax in the air? They can't even beat him in Origin, let alone in a regular season match. High hopes for Para? No, I still don't have him in my 8, but they look good. They won't come last, that's for sure. They've played better week in, week out. There's been games that they've played awful. Riles has said, wake up. And they're like, all right, we'll wake up. The Dragons game, they woke up. Obviously, more Dragons than anything else. But they woke up and they played good without Moses and won that game. And now they have a second win. And now all of a sudden they're 2-5. 2-4, 2-5. And the league can't fucking give 2 wins to anyone else. And 3 wins has you 9th right now. Thanks to Cowboys and thanks to everyone in the league. Because at the moment, 3 wins, Dragons have the bye, but everyone will. 3 wins has you 7th. Don't get that straight, right? Para have 2. Roosters have 2. Penrith have 2. Knights have 2. Titans have 2. 3 wins with a bye, which is a free win, but everyone's going to get that, has you in 7th. That's where Dragons are. They have 3 wins. So everyone is in the picture to come in the 8. Everyone's in the picture to come last. No one's done yet. Obviously, there's some teams that are worse than others, but everyone is in the same fucking boat. So Parramatta are still not out of a chance. Can they make it? Yeah. They could win 2 games in a row from here and they're in the 8. That's how close the league is right now. So they're getting that stupid win. And I've said it a million times, so I'll say it again. Tigers and Dragons have caused all this garbage to happen. Going 0-5 is like, all right, our season's done. Para could have happened to them. And so could the Dolphins. They both could have gone 0-5. And what we've seen, they've won 2 games. Dolphins have won 3. Para's won 2 games out of their last 3. Dolphins have won 3 in a row. And all of a sudden, now they've caught up to you fucking idiots. Dragons have 3 wins. Dolphins have 3 wins. Para have 2 wins. Titans have 2 wins. Incredible. Incredible. You put teams away because the league is now so condensed. It's probably the most condensed I've seen it after 8 rounds because everyone loses to each other, like I've said from round 1. All they do is just lose to each other. It's just a mismatch. So whoever shows up does well that day. That's all it is right now. Except for Bulldogs. Everyone else is in that boat. Show up and do something. And they do. Half of them, as underdogs, go up and do something. Now, what do I say about Tigers? Listen. Tigers, fuck me. What a shit week for you guys. Galvin's gone. Literally, actually. I know, I didn't see news about this, so he shouldn't. Did he even play? What was the score? They scored 10 points. Is that it? Did he even play? Well, they got hammered. He played. They lost 22-10 New South Wales Cup. The only reason I look at that is because Galvin played in it. And he played the mighty Parramatta Eels on the other side. Cartwright's in New South Wales Cup. Fuck me. Tape and Isaac, yeah, he's shit. Yeah, that's a shame. They lost. Luai's still trying to understand how to control a team. And I don't think they played bad today, but you could see a controlling half that knows what they're doing to a half that doesn't exactly know their role. And Luai will learn it, and it'll take time, but it's just it's literally heartbreaking. What can you say? I know this team is garbage now. Sorry, Tigers fans, and sorry to myself. We can't do shit without Galvin. Look, was it shit how it turned out? Did he do the wrong thing? Did he say the wrong thing? Did we release him correctly? Is he in the bad for all of this? His agent? Yes. 100%. I'm not taking away from that. He is 100% in the wrong. So is his agent. So that everything is happening. But sit there and think about winning football games. We're fucked. Let's just say it the way it is. We're fucked. There's no hope. There's no hope. We're done. Everyone knows we're done. And everyone that had top 8 tickets has just basically, in my opinion, it's almost, I know everyone can make it, but just put it on the side and be like, that will probably lose. It's genuinely. I'm not joking. Genuinely, it's almost done. We don't look great. We lost 13 plus to a Para side with Moses' first game back. Para put 40 on us. 40. 4-0 almost. We need Galvin. It's simple as that. You need Galvin. And he was the creative, chaotic star that we had. And the club, all the garbage that came out this week, we're going to stick together. All their press conference, all the shit that happened to get everyone fired up. Like I said, they're going to think they fired up. They're going to look at the other side and be like, we can do this. Para's shit. And Para just like, Dewey's playing halfback. Fuck off. Dewey and Moses. How do you expect to win games? Yes, there was other things. Galvin not being there is one thing, but not having Skeleton, having Naden play center, get him out, Benji. Yeah, what can I say? Absolutely heartbreaking, and I feel like our whole perspective of Tigers and how they're going to make the 8 is gone. They were in my 8 with Raiders, but now I would say there's 7 confirmed teams in my top 8. The top 6 plus Raiders. 8th is up for grabs. Can Tigers get it and turn everything around? Sure, but am I going to be really... Think about it. The team's chasing them. The halves they have. Am I taking... Latu Fainu will come in, and he's played good, sure. But Latu Fainu and Luai versus Cody Walker and Humphreys. Taking Cody Walker and Humphreys. Versus Katoa and Nikarima and that Dolphins lineup. Taking Dolphins. Versus Moses and Brown. Well, we saw that today. Obviously, Dewey was there, but even if Fainu was there, they would have lost. I'm taking Moses and Brown. And I've named you 3 teams. There's so many countless others. I just can't see them making it. And we need a Galvin, and it's not right to bring him back. I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is, whatever's happened has affected you, so don't act like it hasn't. And Tigers, until this game, now they'll sit back and be like, holy shit, we're not good. We're not good, are we? And I knew it. I knew they were not good. And that's why I put them as upset a lot. People need to realize, yes, they're together. Yes, they love each other. Yeah, they probably fucking have sleepovers at each other's houses. Whatever it is. They're just not a good team. Galvin changes that. Galvin is $1 million player playing New South Wales Cup right now, and Tigers fans thought this week they would just win without him. It's not how it works. $1 million player, a star 19-year-old who's been incredible for Tigers ever since last year, doesn't play in the team, and everyone sat there and thought, well, Paris suck. No. You guys do. How is that not registering? Didn't make sense to me. But it was a good win for us. Good win for Premium. For the Premium guys, a quick side note. I didn't realize I sent it out twice. So I knew when the whole Galvin drama happened, I sent it out at 4.5. And then game day, I was like, I haven't sent a Parabet. Oh, wait, I did, but I forgot. And then I sent out 2.5. So they both won. So technically we won like 4 units. We were 4 units on that game and we won 3.8 units. So well done, guys. With the NBA that happened today, it basically nullifies that. So that's good. But I think that wraps up the podcast. An hour, 13 minutes in. It was a huge round to cover. I'm going to give myself some rest because tomorrow we'll go at it again. And round 8 will start on Thursday and end on Sunday. Next week is going to be an absolute... Look, you guys may be watching this for the first time because I'm going to title this Warriors Aren't Good, but something like that. God knows. Para have a bye. I didn't realize. He came back before the bye and pumped you guys. He's probably half injured. Next week, it's going to be a fucking good round. There's a lot of good games. So I'm excited for that. Make sure you guys smash the like button. Comment all your thoughts from Warriors to Dragons to Tigers to Knights in particular. I want to hear that from the Knights fans. Titans, I didn't say much. Roosters, yeah, definitely. Get down in the comments. Comment whatever your thoughts are, whatever you think of me. I couldn't care less. Comment everything you want down there. Thank you guys for your support. Peace.